Good morning, everybody. My name is Gary. We're going to play our first in the series, Foundations for Instrumental Ukulele Thursday concert. And to find out more information, go to jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where I post all of the schedule and the sheet music and all this stuff. It's a lot of people. This will be their first opportunity to play in with me in a less educational environment, and it might be some people's very first. And we usually do the concerts on Friday, but I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so we're doing it on Thursday. And so some people will be doing this for the very first time. Others will be old pros. They've been doing this a while. Let's open that up in a new window, update, and then let's make sure that the link is working properly. Website's jollyrogerukulele.com. Lots of sheet music, lots of things going on over there, and you probably want to know that if you like ukulele. Today we're going to be playing our Make a Better Bar worksheet. That's one of the few exercises that I think are important. Frère Jacques will be strumming a bunch out of the Key of A strumming book. Also talk about Peter Cottontail, Easter Parade, and not unimportantly, we have an Easter bunny coloring book posted. So that we got to get on top of that. While people are logging in, I'm going to go ahead and put this posted over on Twitter. We post on Twitter for who knows what reason. Kick your Fanny Thursday concert special. I'll put special edition. Kick your Fanny Thursday special edition concert. Let's say put that special edition concert. All right, and then website https://jollyrogerukulele.com. Patience. And we'll put the little sign on that we've been adding on to things, which is cute. Foundations, and there we go. All right, so now we're all set. We have tweeted. We have directed you to the website to get the sheet music. We will be waiting for everybody to come loading in here. It's 12:08. We'll wait just a few more minutes, and then we'll have everybody in. Nancy, good to see ya. Michelle is in. Let's see. Overcast down in Florida. What? 67. Nancy, that's Parco weather for you. Michelle is up in Oregon, 52 and cloudy up there today. Here in Denver, supposed to be about 70, I think, outside, or getting close to it, maybe 65. And we're sunny today. Both baseballs opening day is happening downtown, so we're in the process of spreading the coronavirus around, probably. And let's see, look at all these things that are going on my phone. Let's see, 63 out there right now. So there we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So you probably, as you were logging in today, noticed I posted Peter Cottontail for you. Just the ukulele, but I didn't have the mental fortitude to stand doing a baritone arrangement for it this morning. I just couldn't talk myself into doing it, so I'll be doing that this afternoon. And then Easter Parade also is on there, both of those. Peter Cottontail is probably something you can start picking away at if you're brand new. Easter Parade I definitely would put off for a little while. I also posted a coloring book with bunnies in it, so you have that. All right. Sounds like we're pretty close. Let me just double check, and then we're going to play your Make a Better Bar worksheet. So, ukulele players, you're up first. Close enough. Make a Better Bar worksheet. From the top, this is your bar. Try to get every note as clean as possible. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 'Now change your pattern. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Okay, hopefully your thumb is like, what are you doing? This hurts. And that means you're getting stronger and tougher and going to be ever more awesome at playing ukulele. Let's grab the baritone version of that. Baritone players, you're with me. Ukulele players, probably going to sit out. Unless you can stand the cacophony. You can go through it a second time playing along with me. It's just that you're in a different key. 1, 2, ready, play. 3, 7, 'Change your pattern. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Remember two things we're working on there. One, making your thumb, making sure you have great position with your thumb so that you can begin to develop the necessary muscles in your hand to do bar chords. And then obviously the second and probably equally important activity is getting your thumb, index, middle, ring to begin operating independently. And so we'll be working on that every Friday for the rest of your life. You should probably do that right after you tune up your ukulele. You should probably run through that from now every day for a while until you get super strong. Let's see. Rob made it in 61 and sunny down in Texas. Perfect day for in Texas. Vic is sunny up in Eugene. Isn't it funny? Michelle is cloudy. Vic is sunny. It just seems almost predictable at this point. Nancy, hard to wear a parka at all in my wilds. Nancy's like, well, we need a parka because it's only 67 degrees outside, but we got these parties going on, and everybody keeps showing up in their bikinis, and it's just been really, really challenging for Nancy down there. Linda in Colorado Springs. My goal is to have a nice long weekend. Jan made it in. I made it in, got my shot. All is well. Time for ukulele. All right, get that shot in you guys. I'm a couple weeks away from getting my last one in, and then I'm going to one of Nancy's parties. All right, Frère Jacques. Let's grab the ukulele version of Frère Jacques, and let's make sure that everything is starting to come together for you. There is no more piece of music in all of the 300 pieces of music that are sitting on the website than this one. And so let's make sure that everything on here makes sense to you, and that whether you can do it or not is less important than whether you know what you're supposed to do. So we're looking at the Frère Jacques, we're looking at the ukulele version. Baritone players, your chord is sitting up there on top, index, middle, and ring. That's the chord you're going to use. Okay, we're going to strum this. There are 4 beats in a measure. We know that because it says 4/4 at the top. The bottom number you don't worry about so much. The top number is essential. 4/4 means we have 4 beats in every measure. We're going to grab this. Ukulele players, you're going to grab this chord shape, just like it says, index and middle. Make sure that that's making sense to you. And then 4 beats per measure. We'll do first, we're going to do with our thumb, and then we're going to go back and do with our claw. So 2 times through, first time with thumb, second time with your claw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines, ding, 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 dong. Change to your claw. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, ding, dong. Ding, ding, dong. Okay. Not unimportantly, you know that little skill we use on Make a Better Bar? Thumb, index, middle, ring. It actually works on this song too. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John, Brother John. Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing. Ding, dang, dong. Ding, dang, dong. So I was just messing around, but that skill set you can bring to this piece of paper as well, and just continue to practice. We're going to be doing so much training of your right hand. That's the one thing that instrumentally that we have to do, get to do, that is different than if you have been to some of the other websites where they're teaching you some strumming and singing and so on. We don't have a choice. You have a choice when you're strumming and singing of how you approach your right hand. But when you are an instrumentalist, you have to know all of the ways and have all of the skills in place. And so the more the time you spend working on that, the easier it's going to be down the road. So you baritone players have learned what their A chord is. Ukulele players, you've learned what your A chord is. We have learned that 4/4 means 4 beats per measure. There's some other stuff on your sheet music. There's the dots up there. We will come to understand what that stuff means. Quarter note equals 80. That's how fast the computer plays it. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you as a learner. You should play everything slow. Those hashtags are called sharps sitting up there. You're never going to have to deal with those as long as you play on tablature. And then the treble clef is there. You should try drawing a treble clef without looking at one and see how you do. All right, last thing on this piece of paper, the most important thing in this entire program, 0240-0240-457-457-797-540-797-540, first string, second string, first string. Let's give it a try. You're going to play just with your thumb, first string, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. That's it. Okay? It's not that's it. That's everything. This is the foundation for everything else that we build on. Michelle mentions, she likes the finger picking, right? It is beautiful, and it's a really nice way for those of you who like to sing, or anytime you're playing chords, honestly, to start messing around with patterns over here. We're going to talk a lot about patterns over the next 6 weeks, and It's just one of those things that's going to be another tool in this big toolbox that we're building of ukulele skills, so that you end up walking out going, I'm pretty good at this, right? And that's what I want you to walk around your neighborhood going, I'm the best ukulele player in the neighborhood. Okay. Let's do this one more time. Ukulele players, you're playing the melody, baritone, still on chords. 1, 2, ready, play. Went a tiny bit faster that time. Again, being able to do it and knowing what you're supposed to do versus being able to do it are in a little bit different areas of your head. Make sure you know what you're supposed to do, and obviously send me an email if you're struggling at all with that. Whether you can do it or not is less important. That's about practice, right? That's about spending some time doing it. All right, Pam's here. All right, now we can get serious. All right, when I switch to baritone, ukulele players, you're like, okay, Aaron's going that other piece of paper, so grab your baritone paper. And your E chord is kind of a mess, ukulele players. You're already working on your bar. We just did it. Okay, you're gonna put your bar up and down on 4. This is for ukulele players, not baritone players. Ukulele players, you're gonna put a bar up and down on 4, and your pinky's gonna go on 7. Okay, of the first string. Okay, so bar on 4, pinky up on 7. What I'm really showing you, those of you guys with a little bit of prior knowledge, you're really playing a C chord, but then you're using this bar to bring it all up to the correct pitch, and that's your E chord. Okay, so ukulele players, just hold your bar, put your pinky on 4, these 2 fingers just sort of hanging out above the fretboard. Thumb is where it's supposed to be on the back, right behind your middle finger. Okay, that's what you're going to be playing. It's going to sound different, obviously, but that's what you're working on. Okay, baritone players, you've got your E chord on, index, middle. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines, ding, dang, dong, ding, dang, dong. Are you sleeping, are you sleeping, Brother John, Brother John? Morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing, ding, dang, dong, ding, dang, dong. Okay, that's it. Steady beat, steady rhythm, either with your claw or your thumb. Just keep everything steady and one note at a time. Q is saying, with 797540, what's the finger? Oh, oops, you're onto baritone. It says right in the lyrics, Q, if you look at your paper, I wrote it down for you in the lyrics. Open, middle, pinky, open, open, middle, pinky, open, index, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open, ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open, first string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. So it's actually in the lyrics written down which finger you use on which fret. The 797, I always just tell people, start with your ring finger. Dun, 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 dun. Ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. Okay, so it's in the lyrics there for you when you forget. Let's play it from the top. Ukulele players, stay on your E chord. Baritone players, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again, go. piece of music. And the reason I've become such a crazy person about melody playing is that we're going to eventually, starting next week, take that melody and we are going to combine it with the chords and play them at the same exact time together. And that's called fingerstyle or tough uke or chord melody playing. What it does is it brings all of your tools together and will make you sound amazing, and you'll be like, yeah, I absolutely have the right instrument sitting on my lap because it's awesome. All right, we're going to skip very quickly. We'll skip for the strumming section here. I want to talk about Peter Cottontail, Easter Parade, and the bunny coloring book. Normally we don't do any of this. This is just extra stuff to put in your book. On Peter Cottontail, there is a remote possibility, especially those of you guys who are on your second or third time through on the class, that you can play Peter Cottontail. And it turns out Peter Cottontail isn't that hard of a song. It's a super, super horrible, frighteningly evil earworm, and you'll end up being sad that you pulled it out and gave it a try. I'm pulling mine up because I'm like, I have to talk to him about it. But today, as I was finishing up the arrangement of it, my wife came out and she's like, "Are you about done with that?" Yeah, and she's pretty tolerant of a lot of stuff that goes on around here. But I don't have the baritone version posted. I will get it posted by the end of the day today. But I reached the point of being demoralized. But you do, if you've got a little background, you know your chords. Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way, bringing every girl and boy baskets full of Easter joy, things to make your Easter bright and gay. 2, 3, da 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 So C, F, G, and G7 are your 3 chords. Next week, you guys who are new, we're going to be diving into those 3 chords heavily. And so a lot of times people who show up to my classes already know how to play a C, an F, and a G because they've taken lessons somewhere else. So you can absolutely sing and strum that one. And then if you decide to start working on picking out the melody, again, it's harder than what we'll work on initially. It's definitely harder than Frère Jacques, but it's not evil. Okay, so you can start messing around with that if you want. We won't study this necessarily in this class as a piece of music, but it is something that most people have heard this song before and are like, oh yeah, I could probably give that a try. So you have that one, so just so you know. The other one that I posted is called Easter Parade, and a lot of you may or may not know that. It's Irving Berlin, a super famous songwriter from the early 20th century. And this one, typical of Tin Pan Alley music, the first thing I did was just chop off the verses. They are so difficult to get your head around. And I gave you just the chorus. In your Easter bonnet with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. So I don't know if they ever had Easter parades, but apparently there was some notion that there was an Easter parade. So it's there. I will tell you that the key that this song is in is the same key as our little book, right? So you already will know some of the chords. But there's a whole bunch other ones in this as well. And so if it were me, I'd probably be like, I'm going to put it in my book. Next Easter, it'll be no problem. I'll be able to knock this thing out with no big deal. It also has, at measure 17, it goes into this a pretty challenging rhythm. On Fifth Avenue, or on the Avenue, Fifth Avenue, the photographers will snap us. I mean, it's dun da dun da dun da dun. Dun 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 dun. It's really challenging rhythm. So I definitely would put this as a next level piece of music. We'll go over it in more detail in the next hour, but I just wanted you to have it as well. I don't think you should work on it. Okay. And finally, there's an Easter Bunny coloring book on there, and you should download that and you should print it out and you should color in all of the bunnies. You get extra credit for that, and there's that there waiting for you. All right, so let's get to the serious business today of playing this. We go directly to Spaghetti, page 10. Right? Is it on 10? Maybe it's not on 10. It's not on 10. It's on 12. Page 12 is where we need to go. Sorry, London Bridge is on 10. Spaghetti on 12. On top of spaghetti. Now, the big takeaway from On Top of Spaghetti is that it's a 3-chord song, and it's the 3 chords we covered earlier this week. So A chord for ukulele players, A chord for baritone players, okay, D chord for ukulele players, okay, D chord for baritone players, okay, E7 chord for ukulele players, E7 chord for baritone players. One of the things that you will get used to when we're covering both ukulele and baritone is there's so much crossover in shapes between the two instruments that you will eventually figure out, whichever instrument you're on, that you have simultaneously learned how to play the other instrument. And you'll end up wanting to own both. Excuse me, it's been hanging out waiting to sneeze for about a half an hour. Nice to have it over and done with. All right, so let's double check. A chord, D chord, E7 chord, back to A. Baritone players, A chord, dun 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 dun, D chord, ba da da bum, E7, ba da da bum, and back to A, ba da da bum. Now, on top, when I teach kids, I am shocked at how few of them know this song. This is one of the greatest songs ever written, and they don't teach it in schools anymore. So you, as an adult learner, don't hesitate when you have some kid in the neighborhood. Sit them down, stick a ukulele, have a cheap ukulele at your house, right? Make them wash their hands, sit them down, teach them your 3 chords here, and then teach them the song. Even if they don't end up playing the ukulele, even if they're just holding, you can, if they're little, this makes a great drum, right? On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. Right? It makes a nice drum. You can have them hold it right. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. Whenever I give library class, I do a lot of library classes, and we'll have this room full of kids, and usually most of them are into it, and they want to learn the chords and they want to try. But there's always some kid losing his mind, and he's not doing so well. Make him the drummer, end of behavior problem, right? All of a sudden he's just like, oh yeah, I'm down. I can do that part. With little kids, I don't give them this booklet because they don't know how to read yet, and so they have to just sing along with me. And so I teach them the song On Top of Spaghetti, and then they repeat it back and so on. But I think the nice part about these songs in this book is kids don't know them these days, and you guys probably do, and so you can be a part of educating them about the ways we used to do things, right? They're busy telling you how to run the apps on your phone and why you need to be on WhatsApp. I don't even know what that is, but apparently I'm supposed to be on it. And you can teach them about On Top of Spaghetti. And Rob is exactly right. The symbolism here is great. Here's the thing about this song. Eating spaghetti somebody sneezes, right? And the meatball rolls off the table, on the floor, out the door, down the block, under a tree, ends up turning into mush under the tree. Rains soak it. Next summer, it grows into a spaghetti tree. That's unbelievable, right? What we're really talking about here, and back in the day, Led Zeppelin used to say this. They'd stand up at the microphone. Robert Plant would say, before they got to Stairway to Heaven, this is a song of hope. And of course, if you know Stairway to Heaven, it's the opposite of that. It is not a song of hope. It's the opposite of that. So it's his little joke, right? Well, this is my little joke. This is a song of hope. If you're sneeze and you lose your meatball, it's going to turn into a spaghetti tree, which is way better. Now, I think the last line of the song is questionable because it reaches the wrong conclusion. If you eat spaghetti all covered with cheese, hang on to your meatball and don't ever sneeze. Well, truthfully, the opposite of that is true. You should want your meatball to roll out the gutter and turn into a spaghetti. Who doesn't want a spaghetti tree? So the moral conclusion here is not correct, but the hopefulness of having a spaghetti tree in your backyard is pretty important. All right. Notice your first chord is you strum it at top, not on. So you sing on, and then you start your strumming. I list on here how many strums per measure, and it's 3. Okay, so 3, 4 here is on top of spaghetti, 2, 3, 1, 2, all covered with cheese. So you're actually going to strum 9 times during that D section. The key, though, is that you don't really have to count it. You really do have to listen and hear and feel those chord changes coming. And you'll know when a chord change is coming. Your whole body's going to be like, you got to change your chord. Your job is to practice getting from A to D to E7, or if you're on baritone, A to D to E7. Let's give it a try. I'm going to pluck it, okay? And you decide what you want to do over here. 1, 2, I'll count in 2. 1, 2. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor, and then my poor meatball rolled right out the door. It rolled down the gutter and under a bush, and now my poor meatball is nothing but mush. The rains came and soaked it as wet as can be, and early next summer it grew to a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew lovely meatballs, all covered in sauce. If you eat spaghetti, all covered in cheese, hang on to your meatball and don't ever sneeze. Isn't that lovely? That's an absolutely lovely song. Your job is to make sure that you're getting your A, D, and E7 chords covered pretty well. Let's play it one more time. I'm going to switch to baritone. You don't switch anything, right? Whatever instruments in your lap is fine. Both baritone and ukulele are set up for A, D, and E7. And We're going to do it one more time. Now that time I was plucking with my claw the whole time. This time I'm going to do thumb, get a little bit bigger sound out of it. Rob says lots of symbolism. Some people have a lack of vision. Short-term thinking, right? Short-term thinking. So in other words, those of you who've taken this class, you're probably going to be planting some meatballs this summer in your garden and are hoping for the best, right? Jan says about author Piers Anthony writes crazy fun stories, and I think he includes Spaghetti Tree in one of his novels. Right on, right? I think I read a Piers Anthony book back in college. Yeah, so super. There's nothing wrong with a Spaghetti Tree, right? That's the one that would be hitting a home run. All right, I'm going to use my thumb this time. We'll play a little faster. 1, 2. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor, and then my poor meatball rolled right out the door. The table and onto the floor. It rolled down the gutter. Sorry, I went to that line. And under a bush. And now my poor meatball is nothing but mush. The rains came and soaked it as wet as can be. Summer, it grew to a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss. It grew lovely meatballs, all covered in sauce. If you eat spaghetti, all covered in cheese, to your meatballs and don't ever sneeze. Okay. All right, so there's that song. I want to briefly run over to oh, you know what? Let's not work on that today, because there's a song called Kookaburra, and I think that I left it in here. I did. Kookaburra is in here. We're going to work on that in the key of C, and so at that point, a lot of times I like you guys to play it in the key of A first, so we learn the song, and then when we get to the other set of chords, which are actually a little more difficult, C, A minor, F, and G, that you will have experience with the song. But I think we're a little tight. Tell me if there's any songs out of here that you'd like to give a shot to. We will be ending with This Little Light of Mine, but are there any others in here as you were flipping through it you thought, I know that song, or that would be a fun song to sing? Let me know if there's anything that's on the top of your head, and if you don't say anything, then I'll just pick a couple. Pam says, can you explain how upstrum with your thumb and getting it to sound pleasant? So I try not to do that at this point, Pam, but you see, you caught me. At this point in your career, I really want you to do thumb down. 3 blind mice, 3 blind mice. But you caught me, because sometimes when I'm coming down, when I'm coming back up, I'm hitting just the top of my fingernail here. 3 blind mice. Now, when you first start, it sounds like that, right? Right, and it's going to take you a little while to develop a little bit of subtlety there. And I'm just doing that, right? Just doing that. Okay, 3 blind mice. So it's just dragging up just the kind of the face of the edge of my nail on the face. Takes a little bit of practice, but you can get an up and down strum. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. I don't necessarily recommend you spend a ton of time working on it. That's going to come along eventually. And same thing with this thing. When you go down, 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 and you bring it up with your pad. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. So, both of those systems, just take some practice and time. The important part when you're strumming, it's always the down strum. You want to make sure you get your down strums correct and beautiful. And then the up strums, sort of an afterthought a little bit. Michelle says, hey, let's play Danny Boy. I agree. Let's do it. Go grab Danny Boy. So to answer the question, Pam, right on the face of my nail, right about there, it's coming up. And as I'm coming up, I'm kind of making sure that it stays pointed down so it doesn't get real harsh coming up. That's the problem with fingernail play. It can sound pretty harsh. So I'm just bringing it up, and mostly I'm dragging it up there because it's coming up. Might as well be doing something, right? So that's what's going on. Let's play Danny Boy, and then let's see if we have time to do She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain. Okay, grab your A chords. And then, of course, you have to listen to me sing Oh Danny Boy, which is fine until we get to the high note, and that's not going to happen. It's a one beat count in. 1. Oh Danny Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you who must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. I keep changing it to the wrong spot. Oh, I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny Boy, oh, Danny Boy, oh, Danny Boy, I love you so. Can you tell it's been a while since I did this? But if you come, and then let's switch to your claw. But if you come and all the flowers dying, and I am dead and dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and you will say an ave for me, and I will know soft you tread above me, and in my grave will warm and sweeter be. And you'll kneel down and whisper that you love me, and I will sleep in peace until you come to me. Isn't that pretty? A lot of times Danny Boy divides people into two groups. Those of you with a little bit of Celtic heritage, and you're like, well, of course we have to do that, and I will be crying buckets of tears by the time I'm done with the song. And everybody else is like, I don't know why they have to play that song all the time. The other one, this is in 4/4, so thumb, index, middle, ring, right? Oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. Summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go and I must bide. From index, middle, ring. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, when the valley's hushed and white with snow. I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny Boy, I love you so. Isn't that pretty? So all I'm doing, same exact thing, but instead of strumming down or plucking all four, I'm just doing thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. And when I do thumb, index, middle, ring, do it however fast you think you can do it and keep it steady. And then that determines how fast you play the song. So if you're new and you're really struggling, oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are calling that's so slow. That's not even going to sound good. Yeah, it does, because in the beginning you have to play it that slow to learn the technique and learn the pattern, and then you'll pick up speed after that. But yeah, when I started, in the middle ring, right, and I've gotten a little where I do it all the time now, so I've gotten a little faster. Um, yeah, Jan's already on. Jan's already know this. No, she's the same joke as I. It made her cry, right? Jan probably has a little Irish, a little Scottish in her somewhere, yeah. And if you have Irish or Scottish in you automatically burst into tears, and nobody knows why. Let's do. She'll be coming around the mountain real quick. She'll be coming around the mountain. What page is that one on? 13. We won't do the whole thing. We'll do 6 white horses, and then we'll call it good. Grab your A chord. 1, 2. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Toot, toot. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Toot, toot. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Toot, toot. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. Whoa there! She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. Whoa there! She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses. She'll be driving 6 white horses when she comes. Whoa there! Right? So that's what you do with that. You just go through and add in each verse has a whoa there, hi there, whack whack. It's kind of fun. That's it. We don't have time for this little light of mine now, but we'll spend a little bit more time on this next week. So don't now throw this in the trash can, right? This is a book you're going to use to get yourself better at switching chords, to get your rhythm steady, to get everything nice and clean. And so I use that book continuously in my teaching for adults and with kids, in order just to give them, here's 4 chords, here's 30 some songs. We're gonna learn them all, right? And so it's a great chance to try different strumming patterns and picking and all of that stuff. So Jan says, yes, I have lots of Irish and British in my blood. Yeah, we just burst into tears when Danny Boys played, and so we don't know why. It's just the way it is. All right, guys. Some of you I will see next hour. The rest of you I will see on Monday. Remember, we're not meeting here tomorrow. I'm taking a 3-day weekend, and so I will see all of you guys then. Have a wonderful weekend. Get your vaccine when you can. Do a random act of kindness for somebody. You got to practice a little bit. Just start to pick up your ukulele once a day and mess around with it. Keep showing up here. This will be what makes you a very fine musician. It will work. Okay. If you are logged into Gmail or YouTube, if you will give me a thumbs up on that down here on the thingamabopper, or it might be over here. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And that's what we'll do. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will be pulling the plug. Thanks, Michelle. Good to see you. Jan, who else was here? Rob was here today. Pam was here today. I'm trying to think anybody else sneak in here. Linda, Vic. Yeah, I think that's most. Nancy. Good to see all of you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see some of you next hour. The rest of you down the road.